when I look back on my journey of faith, I see how new levels of awareness for me led to the need for new language. For instance, I wonder if some of you, like me, grew up using the word gay as a catch-all pejorative to describe something that was less than. That's so gay. And at some point in my spiritual journey, the level of awareness realized of what that actually communicates to the people who might actually be same-sex attracted. Oh, so you mean I am stupid like that thing you said was gay? New awareness leads us for a need for new understanding. The same thing with the word retarded. We just toss that around like it was nothing, like that's so retarded. And then I realized, wait a minute, that's horrible. It's a horrible word to use for that phrase. I can no longer, same thing about thug. This was more like in the last couple years with what happened in Ferguson, Missouri, and other places, realizing that we would see African Americans engaged in a certain behavior and just call them thugs. When, of course, white people could do the same damn behavior, and we just call them, oh, they're just rowdy, they're just rambunctious. But we attach this word thug, and I realized I'm no longer going to use that word. Like I cannot in good conscience use that word anymore because of what it implies and all the baggage that it brings. And some people think it's just about being politically correct, and I think, no, screw politically correctness. This is not about political correctness. This is about listening to people who have been oppressed, listening to people who have experienced shame and hurt and pain, listening to people who haven't had power when they say the words that you use make me feel like this. This is what that's about. Political, I don't care about I care about listening to people and humans and their stories. And I realize if this is what this word does for you, I can get new language. And I damn well better get new language. If you want a fascinating conversation, talk to Skip. Skip loves words. He loves language. And he's got thoughts on this that completely transcend my own. Probably 30 years from now, I'll be like, oh, that's what you meant. Okay. But this is in my journey towards becoming an aspiring feminist, right? I realize that saying things like, don't be a pussy, or get some balls, do we know what that communicates? That's horrible. And we can't go on perpetuating this idea that men are better than women by the language that we use. We can't say to people when they exhibit something that might be characterized as weak, we can't call them a pussy. We just can't. We can't. It has to stop. And we can't say when we want people to get stronger or more brave or more courageous, grow some balls. What the hell is that? What is that? Why are we using these words to perpetuate these ideas that are so destructive to so many people? So that's me. And I'm keen to this reality that sometimes new awareness on our journeys of faith demand new language. You can find a lot in the Lisbon earthquake of November 1st, 1755, I'm telling you. But it's not just in that world, but even in faith world, new language has been necessary for me, and I think for some of us. For instance, since the Middle Ages, or even before that, one of the primary ways the church has thought about what happened on the cross is called the penal substitutionary theory of atonement. And this is like the dominant way the church has thought about the cross for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. And so a lot of our language is about the blood and the shedding of blood for the forgiveness of sins. And the idea is that God poured out God's wrath upon God's Son so that you and I don't have to experience it. Like Jesus gets to take the full force of wrath so that you and I, who deserve it because we're awful, horrible, terrible creatures, we deserve God's wrath, but Jesus. And when I have gotten to a point where I'm like, wait a minute, maybe that wasn't what was happening on the cross, or if it was that, and maybe it wasn't only that, maybe it was other things. Why is it the only way we talk about that? And so songs that like overemphasize blood and shedding, like those, I'm like, those language, I don't know if those things work anymore. Like that's not necessarily where I'm at theologically, so I can't in good conscience maybe sing some of those songs anymore. New language sometimes follows or should follow new levels of awareness. Another one is over masculinization of God as a man. This is another way of my language has had to change as I've had new levels of awareness and understanding in my theology. You might notice that if I can help it, I never use pronouns when I refer to God. In my writing, that's pretty easy, but even in my speaking, I don't use pronouns. I don't refer to God as a he. This is not to say that people shouldn't. This is to say for me that I have seen how for 2,000 years, actually Judaism, beyond that, 3,500 years, God being portrayed as a man has reinforced the patriarchal view of the world. It just has. And so to continue to only, and this is why I would just say only, you can use pronouns for gods. I would just invite some balance. This is why sometimes our prayers here say things like Father, Mother, God. This is why sometimes we'll change lyrics to sing to Heavenly Mother. Because God, I think, transcends gender. So God doesn't say, I'm not masculine, not feminine. God says, yes, all, right? But if we only ever emphasize or talk about the masculine aspects of God, we are now attributing, think about it, we're attributing all these masculine qualities to the biggest, most beautiful, most divine, most loving being. Gets all the masculine things. How in the world do you think that would make any young woman growing up feel when they don't ever hear the things that resonate with them being attached to the divine being that created the cosmos and everything? Like, sorry, you don't get these attributes. You get a little bit less. These are the things that I think our language perpetuates. Whether we want them to or not, they are there. And so for me, I have done away as best as I could with language that continues to contribute to this idea that God is male.